Hi Virgo, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your June 2020 tarot check for all Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Thank you so much for watching these readings, and thank you to all of you who have subscribed, liked, commented, and shared my videos. I really appreciate it, and I'm having fun reading for you and sharing in your collective energy. So I will continue. If you're new here, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you tap the bell, you'll be notified when new videos are posted, but it's generally about every week that I post. I do a weekly reading, I do a monthly and a mid-month, and then I also have added a love tarot reading that's on the first Friday of the month. So, whoops, we had some cards spill out. You know what, I'm going to keep those as clarifiers because I just don't want to start putting those in the middle of a Celtic cross. So we are going to keep these out here, and we'll figure out why that happened in a minute, okay? So here we go. Let's see what is going on here for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is for Virgo. Okay, and if this is your sun sign and it doesn't resonate, try a different part of your chart. So maybe your moon, your Venus, or your rising. So I'm very interested to see what these cards might mean. Your current situation, you've got the Hanged Man with the Three of Wands. The destiny here, you have the Three of Pentacles. Behind you, you have the Page of Swords. And then you also have the more recent past, the Ten of Wands. Coming towards you, you have the Emperor. You're represented here by the King of Cups. You've got the Knight of Pentacles here as the other person. You also have the Nine of Wands as your hopes and fears. The outcome is the Four of Pentacles. Now, I always do the bottom of the deck, so I'm going to do that even though these other guys fell out. You've got the Ace of Cups here. So, you know, which is kind of interesting because you have the Ace of Swords and then the Tower that came out earlier here. I'll just put those up. Well, actually, you can't really see them. Let's move those to here. Okay, so, you know, I definitely have, let's just take a look at the energies here. You certainly have fire here. You have Aries represented strongly, but you also have Sagittarius and Leo. You have Earth, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Water, it's not an incredibly watery reading, but you do have some water. So Scorpio, you have all the elements. Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. You have all the elements. It's more cards than I generally look at, but that's okay. So your current position is all about changing your perspective, and you have it really represented here twice, really. You know, in the Three of Wands, it's about progress and moving forward, but he's surveying the area. This is somebody with caution. This is looking before you leap. This is not the Fool where it's running out and just taking a plunge. This is somebody who's making progress but slowly. I think for you, you've had to really change your perspective on some things. And as you continue to do that, things will move forward. I think it's going to take you know, with the Hangman, the number 4 is often associated, and I think it'll be more likely in the next 4 weeks to a month or something like that, where you're able to change your perspective enough to see things in a way that you can accept them how they are. I mean, it's slow-moving energy for sure, but you have a couple things here. With money, I feel like, have really had to take an inventory. You may be selling some things. I'm getting that for some of you, where you're putting things online and selling them. It's not necessarily out of desperation, but it's more that you've had time to get some things organized and realize that you have a lot of things you don't use. It could be worth money. Some of you may have a garage sale over the summer. Again, that may not be in the next week or two, but by July you may decide to sell some things on Craigslist or garage sale or something like that and make some money off of it. But in terms of love here, you know, you've definitely had a time to go within to really look at your whole life map. That's what I'm getting, looking at your whole life map and seeing, where do I want this to take me? For some of you, I think that you have had either a time of being single for quite a while here, or a disconnection from somebody, and that person may come back around. You've definitely got love coming in. But it's slow moving. Okay. This is not a, whirlwind, you're married in 28 days kind of a thing. You have in your destiny this Three of Pentacles. So you've got stability here in terms of money, but you've also got, this is a card of new beginnings. So I do feel for some of you more strongly that it's new love that's coming in. You've also got, in terms of work, if things have been on hiatus, you're definitely going to get back into working, and it'll be rewarded. Some of you may see a raise. I know that sounds crazy because sometimes people drop comments and say, well, not during this time. And then somebody else will say, I had somebody that said, I just got a raise that was double what I was making. It was for a large, like a chain, and their manager couldn't tell them why. And they had no idea. And that was pretty cool. So you never know. It's always somebody's reading. It might not always be yours, but it is somebody. But with this, though, in terms of your destiny here, that's always influenced by your free will. It's not fate, like you just have no control over it and you're being taught a lesson. It's really about your own influence from your own powerful choices. And so you want a companion. You want that, growing old together kind of scenario, and that's your destiny. Okay, that's certainly within reach. In the past, you may have had somebody that was very in and out. You may have had a very insecure relationship where you were always checking over their shoulder, getting on their, and this could be vice versa, but getting on their social media and looking at their friends list and seeing what new people are following them and things like that, where it almost was making you feel nuts because it was warranted. The thing is about it, it wasn't like you were doing it because of, just jealousy and no apparent reason. The person was not very trustworthy, and they were doing a lot of things that were building insecurity within the relationship. And so after a while, it was just like, this is way too much work. Dealing with this person who's too immature to be in a relationship, a serious one, got to be very taxing. And again, I'm starting to believe that these two cards are more related to this. That's what it feels like, where you had somebody where it was, I am really getting this for somebody now, where it was very insecure, it was very in and out, and it was making you, subject to a lot of heartache. And I do feel like this person had to be moved away from you because it was really draining your whole life force to be living like that. So this is the more recent past. You've got this Ten of Wands, and this is all about, it's about being stretched to extremes. So some of you may have had to leave a relationship and it caused financial difficulties because you may have been cohabitating together and you had to start working more and just figuring out your finances and figuring out some things. But it's worth your time and effort because with this, you've gotten to be a lot more secure. So coming towards you, you've got the Emperor. And this is all about the structure of our society, okay? So it's all about like meeting social norms and things like that. And I definitely think that for you in the upcoming, couple of weeks here, you're going to be readjusting to some of our new normals like anyone, but I do think you're going to do it with ease and you're going to have a real confidence. Somebody here might be making masks and selling them, and I don't know who, but you're going to make money off of that. I can tell you that. Maybe even to the point of like setting up an Etsy shop or something like that, where you're using social media and online stuff. And I had that before, didn't I, where you're selling stuff online. I'm getting it again. So if you've been thinking about doing that, I think it'll be very lucrative for you. So this is, again, this is kind of a stoic card, but I do think for you, you are attracting somebody in too who's very strong. They're not like this Page of Swords situation. This person knows who they are, they're authoritative, and they follow the rules. I feel like whoever this was that you had before, they kind of played fast and loose with the truth. And honestly, they lied when it would be easier to tell the truth. This person is integrous. They are honest. They don't play games. for some of you, I feel like they aren't your normal type, though, in terms of looks. Like this other character may have been very cute, but they were so untrustworthy. It's like, I don't care. I mean, this is not worth it to me to be dealing with this person. So this person that you're bringing in, or it may be something like they're just not like, they're kind of a t-shirt and jeans kind of person. They don't dress to impress necessarily. They're a little more basic in that regard, I guess. Even though the emperor does dress nice, I just get this vision of them being a little more casual. So you're represented here by the King of Cups, and so you've got a nice emotional energy. I feel like you can open up and give love to this person. You'll be able to do that, especially too because you have the Ace of Cups as a clarifier, and this is a very, very strong energy of love. And your advice on this is really to, if you're single right now, be loving. Be as loving to anyone around you, your neighbors, if it's somebody you pass on the street, just, opening up to people and really being loving and noticing things around you, noticing love around you, examples of it, because you'll bring it in doing that. This person is coming in. They're the Knight of Pentacles. Like I said, I think they're more stoic or kind of dry or serious. And that's okay. I mean, it's not a negative energy at all. It's just sort of like they've got kind of a dry sense of humor. They're kind of a chuckler by nature. They're coming in, but they're slow moving. They are somebody who takes life seriously. They don't want to start something that they don't think will last. They're not the kind of person that would start a relationship in the middle of a pandemic, I'll tell you that. I think that they will take it slow and make it last. And they're serious about this. So certainly could be an earth sign too. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So your hopes and fears here, you've got this Nine of Wands, and you don't want to be hurt again. And actually, this person doesn't want to be hurt again either. They are contemplative, they're pensive. They're somebody that will really evaluate, and they won't go out with somebody twice if there's not the right connection there. They won't string people along doing that. So, I think you've got one last push here. You've got kind of one last step, and I know there's a delay. There's a feeling of delay with this, but it's definitely coming, and you're, for now, again, just opening yourself up, because you do have this Four of Pentacles as the outcome, and he's certainly very closed off. He covers his pentacles. He doesn't want to lose his money. He's not wanting to let go of things. And so, I think in terms of your health and finances, those look really good, but there's a part of you that's afraid to take a chance. There's some part of you that is afraid to do this, and you're just like holding on to dear life, not wanting to transform, not wanting to do this. But the guidance really is to let go and do it. I'd love to see the Fool here. That would have been exciting, because that's really the energy that's needed in order to bring in this, because you have a long-term, this is unconditional love. It's never-ending flowing love, but you have to let go and let it in. So we'll do, I've got these archetype cards from Carolyn Mace, and she's really a mystic. She's got a PhD in theology, but she's a Reformed Catholic, and she used to do medical intuition, and then kind of got away from it and just became a spiritual teacher. But she teaches a lot about archetypes and relationships. And I like these cards because the tarot these are archetypes. That's all they are. And it's influenced too by Carl Jung. So if you're into psychology, you probably notice that name or recognize it. This is interesting. You've got the card of the damsel. The light attributes of the damsel are understanding the nature of healthy romance. It inspires you to rely on yourself. And the shadow attributes, very interesting, are waiting for a knight to provide for you, and it's seduction by romantic illusion. So it kind of makes me laugh because the person coming in is a knight, and you have, this sort of waiting to be rescued card. in the shadow attributes, but the light attributes too. You can really focus on those. So we'll close things off today with an Abraham Hicks Ask and It Is Given card. It is not about controlling my thoughts. It is about guiding them. We are not encouraging you to make an effort to control your thoughts, but instead to more or less guide your thoughts. Reaching for the way you would like to feel is an easier way to hold your thoughts in vibrational alignment with that which you believe is good. So yeah, so we don't try to suck our thoughts back in or cancel or delete them. We just continue to look at the things that we want and look at the things that have already manifested for us, and more will be given, right? To those who have, more will be given. You can have, do, or be anything. So I love you so much, Virgo, and I'll be back again shortly.